Hello, welcome back to the Veterans Radio Podcast. We talk here with amazing heroes in action, making it happen for our military and our veteran community. I'm your host, Dali Rivera, and I want to welcome you to our live stream. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Amazon Live, and of course our podcast listeners, it means a lot to us that you show up every single week and that you share the episodes. So without you, we would not be able to broadcast this episode or the all of the ones that we've published already. So hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to register or to subscribe and share the episode. Also, don't forget that we love having the comments and the questions come in while we're live. So don't be shy. Go ahead and send us your thoughts. Today, we're going to have some really great guests, but we're going to start with our transition segment with Gary Rodman.
Hi, this is Gary. Good to be back with you. I'm coming from Camp Pendleton, where I've spent the last 3 days helping our Marines and Navy service members get ready for their civilian careers. But I'm especially excited today to introduce someone to you that I really would like for you to get to know. And her name is Kate Monroe, and she has a tremendous background. And if I may share just a little bit about Kate before I ask her some questions. Kate is president of ROI Ventures, which is mainly a consulting company. Kate also founded VetCom in 2020, which is really what I'd like for her to spend a lot of her time on, explaining what VetCom is all about. She's also married. She has a son, and she has served in the military. She served in the Marines as a signals intelligence analyst. Wow, quite impressive. She has a book coming out here soon called The Race to Save America. And has also announced in August her candidacy for the 49th Congressional District as a Republican, and she's started her campaign as a result. So, Kate, we're really glad to have you here today. And so if you can add anything that I've just said to your background, it is so rich. You've had a tremendous, very impressive career so far, and it's not over. But what I'd like for you to do, if you would, Kate, is give us more information about VetCom and how it can help veterans.
Yes. So as you said, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm 100% rated for VA disability. And sometimes, we think disability and we go, oh, I don't want to be disabled. So we don't pursue our benefits. So VetCom was born sort of out of a necessity. I actually owned a very large car dealership, and most of the people that bought cars from me were active duty military or were veterans themselves. So I would try to put a car deal together, and I was trying to help them find financing. And I said, hey, are you rated for disability? And people would say, no, I'm not rated for VA disability compensation. What is that? So I helped a person who brought me a person who brought me a person. 200 people later, after we successfully helped 200 people, I thought, is anybody rated for disability? Is there a single veteran out there that really knows that this exists? And so when I started to look at the whole universe of unrated veterans, I realized 11 million of us have nothing. 11 million vets are not collecting $1. So then I had to say, is it our fault or is it the VA's fault? Like, how did we get here where there's 11 million people? So I kind of put it into three buckets after talking to thousands of people. Bucket number one, you flat just didn't know it existed. You may be watching me right now going, what is VA disability compensation? Well, if you don't know, now you know. You are owed anywhere from $150 a month to $3,600 a month. And that's an incredible amount of money when you consider it's tax-free and it's lifetime income. So to give you an idea, someone who's married, rated at 100% with two children, with two dependents would be collecting $4,000 a month. That's quite a lot of income. So now we don't have that as an excuse. Right now we know. Bucket number two is I tried and I failed. It was too hard. I pursued. It was too much paperwork. I got too much pushback. And I get that a lot from those maybe in the latter Gulf War era on to the Vietnam era veterans. I hear that quite a lot because it was hard. I agree with you. It was very difficult back then, but the VA has changed. Okay. And the third group of people are people that just don't feel like they deserve it. And so I us here at VetCom, we don't spend 1 minute saying you deserve it, because it's not our job to convince you that you do. And that we may never convince you of that, because if you've been out 10, 20, 30 years and you don't feel deserving, I may not change your mind today. But I can tell you that you're owed the money. So that's what we say at VetCom. We will help you get everything that you are owed. So this is what I mean. If you go into the military whole at 100% and you come out less than whole, say 50%, you're owed that delta. Well, that delta of 50% is worth $1,000 a month. So here at VetCom, we help people get everything that they are owed, the totality of what they're owed. So now that we have bucketized everybody, I'm going to speak to each of you now as though we're all talking to the same group. Here's what VetCom does simply. We take all of that guesswork, all of the workload off of your plate when it comes to working with the VA. If you sign up with VetCom, we will basically take the 2 points that are really far apart right now, and we will pull them together and make it very easy to go from A to Z. We'll just cut out the middle. So to give you an idea, we get people rated for disability on their first claim in usually 90 days or less. So if you've been waiting for years, in 90 days from now, you could be rated. There's vets that have been sitting at 90% for 10 years and couldn't get to 100. We get them there in 35 to 45 days. There is a correct way to make a claim. There's a fast way to make a claim. And what if I told you while you're watching this, you could have already signed up with us, and within 5 days, that's our average time from sign up to making your first claim. So that's what VetCom does. We coach veterans for every appointment. We make your claims. We do it from the comfort of your own home. On your first round of claims, we probably don't even need paperwork.
Let me ask you a question, Kate. So every week I have probably 50 to 60 veterans in my transition class. And I always have veterans that are going through their medicals,
Yep.
right? They're going through the steps to determine to what extent they have a medical disability.
Correct.
And they're all kind of nervous, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, they don't know the outcome. They don't know what to expect. Everything is out of their hands
Yeah.
in many respects. So would that be a good time, you might say, for them to contact you or to make sure they are ultimately rated for everything they're eligible for?
So we have a program for those that are still on active duty. We call it a bridge program. It's going to bridge the end of the time that they have remaining in. So we're going to help them get ready for all those exams and get themselves staged to get as high as they can get on their way out. And then the second they become a civilian, then we go on to the other side of the bridge and we help them get the balance of what they're owed. Now, a lot of people, we help them get 100% on the way out, and that's awesome. Great, you won on the way out. But if you didn't, we're going to make sure that we manage both the end of the active duty service and the beginning of your civilian life in getting rated.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of veterans that are out, and it's amazing how many do not even, as you mentioned, claim a disability. And they're too proud, maybe, or they don't want to, they just feel like it's, they can manage it. But later in life, they find out that that disability's popped in and it's going to be, very tough on them. So,
well, what I think is, I really think that people think they're leaving the money for someone who deserves it more. I hear this a lot. Oh, I'm good. I have money. I'm working. It's not really that bad. But at the end of the day, the money that you don't take does not go to another veteran. That money goes to some program that you probably don't support. And so what you're ensuring is that the pool of the budget for the VA actually shrinks when the money goes unused. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, this is a hassle, I don't need it, 90 days from now, you could be collecting funds. And if you're so rich you don't need it, I'll find a good place. I'll find a good home for those funds. We have lots of charities we support.
So how does an individual get in touch with you, Kate? I know we've got a limited amount of time here, but what would you recommend they get in touch with? I know I can put them in touch with you, but any recommendations there?
Yeah, there's a couple ways that you could get in touch with us. If you just go to VetCom, VETCOMM.us, you can find us there. Our phone number is also listed if you want to actually call us. You can also email me at Kate, that's KATE at vetcom.us. And if you reach out to us, we give every single veteran a 15-minute free survey basically to tell you what your claim would be worth and exactly all the ways that you could go pursue getting your claim, including doing it with us and other ways.
Well, this is a tremendous service, Kate, and I really applaud you for starting this, as I said, in 2020. Well, one more question, and I
Okay.
don't want to get too political here because
It's all good.
we're neutral here.
Yeah.
But why should a person vote for you?
Well, I think a person should vote for me, especially in CA 49, which is Del Mar to Dana Point, Camp Pendleton, right in the middle. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I have already crafted legislation that's getting introduced now, the Veteran Entrepreneur Act. I am very veteran focused. I've been in the media 50 times in just the last 4 months for veteran affairs, homeless, drugs, lawlessness, the border. I was just on Trace Gallagher last night. I was on, I've been on every single Fox National show multiple times as the authority on those things that I mentioned. I also am the mom of a young son, and this new wokeism that's going on in schools, this Marine Corps Mama Bear will be out there fighting that fight. And I just flat will get it done. I'm a solution oriented person. I'm not one of these people who are going to go there and be a politician. I'm going to go in, get the job done, execute the mission, and come back home. I'm all for term limits. I think that these people are in office for way too long. So I'm going to go do a cleanup job and then I'm out.
Well, Kate, we just really appreciate you being on our show today. I hope we can have you back
I'd
because
love to.
there is so many things associated with VetCom. We can go maybe in a little bit more depth at that time, but it truly is a privilege to have you here with us today.
It looks like they just asked a question: is there a cost for the service? And I'll go ahead and ask
Okay, sure.
that. There is a cost for the service, and I will tell you this: a lot of people would say you should go to a VSO or go do it for free. Most of these free services, it takes 12 to 24 months to even get to the front of their line. So you have missed out on $24,000 to $36,000 while you wait. So that is not free. One. Two, we are $997 one time or 12 installments of only $97. If we don't get you rated for disability, you get your money back, and we donate half of what we bring in back to PTSD charities. So there is a cost, but there is a cost to be able to reach people. You can never reach a VSO. You can reach us at any hour of the day, 365 days a year for support.
Yeah, and I know how difficult it is to reach the VA at times. And
It's
again, I'm
almost
not trying to be
impossible. Yeah.
too critical here because I coach Chapter 31 vets
Yeah.
that have disabilities and they're trying to find jobs. I help them find jobs, and I know how many times it takes a long time to get issues
Yeah.
resolved.
Yes,
And obviously, you know how to cut the red tape.
we do. Chop, chop.
Well, again, Kate, thank you for being with us today. It's been a real privilege, and we'll have you back again. All right.
Thank you so much. You all have a blessed day.
Thank you.
I hope that you were listening. That looks like such a great opportunity to at least look into. So make sure that you reach out to Kate. Okay, so we have two great guests today. We have Jessica Anguiano she's a Southern California Outreach Manager with the Small Business Majority. And we also have Cesar Chacon, founder of Spartan Fit Nutrition. But we're going to start with Jessica. So Jessica, please come on in and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for this invitation. We're very excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We love that you offer your time to come and share about your resources. So first, let me ask you, what type of affiliation do you have with the military?
So let me tell you a little bit about what we do and how it's tied in. Small Business Majority is a national nonprofit organization that empowers diverse entrepreneurs, and we advocate for them on the local state level. So we help veterans, we help everyone that has a small business and empower them in providing them the tools and resources that they need. So veterans do play a huge role. They are small business owners. So we're more than happy to continuously work with them by providing any type of resources. If there's even grants available for them in particular, we make sure that we flag it for them.
I love that. I love to hear the word grants for businesses. I'm a business owner myself, so I'm always looking out for stuff like that. So tell me, do you work with entrepreneurs who are in a specific region of the country, or does it not matter where they're from?
It doesn't matter where they're from. We are a national organization, so if they happen to get in contact with me and they live in a different state outside of California, we can always connect them to the outreach manager that covers their area. it is better for them to get connected to the outreach manager within their state, because obviously there's so many grants, there's so many resources out there that we are more familiar within our state. So I cover all of the Southern California area, but again, we have coverage pretty much everywhere in the United States.
So if I wanted, I'm in Maryland, so if I wanted to connect with your organization, how do I look them up?
Yeah, so you can go into our website, you can go into smallbusinessmajority.org, or if you just happen to reach out to me in particular, I could always do that handoff to the correct outreach manager. But we also have our website that has tremendous amount of resources, along with a tool that is called venturize.org. That is another thing that our veterans can utilize when looking for grants or even loans.
Okay, so if I find a grant, do you help me kind of like do the writing part of it, or do you just help more with looking for grants that are that would fit my business?
So what we can work two different ways. The first way is I usually do a screening call, meaning you can get on the phone with me or Zoom, um, kind of tell me a little bit of your situation. I currently working on my credit, or I have outstanding credit. So I try to find out what your current situation is to be able to connect you to the right partners. We don't do any lending. We don't necessarily have any grants, but we're more of a resource center, and I'm able to plug you into the correct partner. Um, but I do want to say that although we normally don't have any grants, Small Business Majority was celebrating National Hispanic Heritage Month, and we did have a grant of $10,000. So we were going to distribute, or we are going to distribute that 4 different ways for $2,500. So that is another way that we're constantly trying to support our small businesses.
Okay, so you're handing out $2,000 grants. So at this point, have you selected the winners yet, or are you still taking?
Unfortunately, the application closed yesterday, but we are in the process of selecting that winner. There were applications coming from all the way from across the country.
Okay, that's amazing. Somebody's asking, is Cesar one of them? Is he one of the winners?
Cesar, we'll see. We shall see if he happens to be one of the lucky winners. But yes, that just gives you an example on how we work with veterans. Once they get plugged in, for one thing, we continuously try to provide them with different resources. So it's important to get connected with us so we can continue to help you thrive.
Okay, one last question before we wrap it up. Wow, time just flies. But my question is, do you work mostly with a certain type of business owners? Like, most companies I feel like now work with people who are in the tech industry. So it leaves people like me that I provide educational services. It leaves me out. So do you work with a certain demographic, or can it be anybody?
It can be anybody. We have small businesses that I have an idea to someone that is ready to scale and even look into procurement contracts, working with the state of California. We work with so many different organizations, so it doesn't matter what type of business you have or what stage. We collaborate with a lot of different partners, like the Veterans Chamber of Commerce and the state of California, or whatever state the outreach manager is in.
Wonderful. Jessica, thank you so much. Can you tell us one more time where people can reach out if they're interested?
Yes, so I can provide you with 2 different websites. So it's smallbusinessmajority.org. That is our main website. If you're looking for any grants or lending opportunities, you can go into venturize.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Jessica. And thank you also for working with the Chamber of Commerce, because you're a great collaborator from what Joe has told us. And enjoy your weekend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, so up next we have Cesar Chacon. So we'll bring him in and find out about Cesar, how are you doing? How are you helping our community?
Great. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. And I just wanted to say that Jessica is being way too humble. Her organization does amazing things. And they also include policy issues that they deal with. I know you had somebody running for office, but they work really, really closely with state government to help develop programs for us. And I just wanted to say I really appreciate that. They've helped me a lot with providing me access to coaching, mentorship, resources. I'm working with somebody right now called the SEO Queen, who's done amazing stuff on my website. So highly recommend looking her up, and the things that they are able to provide us to help our businesses grow is amazing.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Spartan Fit Nutrition. How did that come about, and who does it serve?
Sure. So it started when I was earning my doctorate at USC, and our professor he asked us to think about a passion project. Now, at that point, I'm going to school for full time, graduate school. I'm working full time, trying to live some sort of a life outside of those two things. And I was just tired all the time, just absolutely exhausted. So, in thinking about the passion project, I thought, well, what do I know about? I've been in fitness, played rugby, jujitsu, football, wrestling, of course, as a veteran. I was in the army, and so I was very physically fit. But after years of not really doing a whole lot, it started, getting a little bit thicker, a little bit slower. So I met with everybody that I knew in the fitness industry, and we got together and said, okay, what can we do? Can we have a project, a program, a service? And we came up with a pre-workout called the Leonidas Blend. That with just one scoop, it gives you all day energy and vitality with none of the sugar crash. There's no sugar. It's based on guarana, some caffeine, and stevia and monk fruit. And from that one product, we grew because people started buying it. It would sell out. They started asking us, hey, do you guys have protein? Do you have a creatine? So we developed a whole line of supplements focus on the no crash, very healthy, natural, no artificial ingredient type of supplements. So we have the best stuff out there at very value conscious prices.
Wow, that's wonderful. So where can people find your product?
Sure. If you go to SpartanFitNutrition.com or BeSpartanFit.com, it sends you to our website. And then you could also find us on social media at Spartan Fit Nutrition for Instagram, Facebook, and we're on TikTok now. So you'll be seeing my face on video and some of our athletes perform amazing feats. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's wonderful. Anything else that you'd like to share with the audience that maybe like some of the common questions that they have about your product?
So about our products, like the main thing is it's one scoop. It's going to give you the energy and vitality you need to get you through the day. That's like the biggest differentiator. We provide all our products with no sugar, which means natural flavorings like monk fruit. And that's really important because we want you to be healthy. We want to create the best version of you. And sugar is not the best thing for you, especially if you're trying to be healthier. So
Hmm.
those are the really, really important things. And again, our products are all scientifically tested. Things like creatine and ashwagandha that have been the most researched supplements and really in history, they're effective and you're able to use them to really reach your goals. And we provide a lot of education on our products too. If you go to our website, we have hundreds of articles about which products work and which ones you should take and when you should take them. So we provide the product and the education, and we're also there to help. So if you ever have a question, please reach out via social media or you could email us and we'll help you out with anything that you have. We're very, very, we love our customers. We want them to be the best version of themselves and really, really sincere about that.
I love that. So I'm going to ask a question because I honestly, I know my husband has worked or used this pre-workout, but can you explain to those of us that don't really understand what it is, like why should we use that and what does it do for us?
Sure. So there's two types of pre-workouts. There's one with a stimulant and one without a stimulant. The stimulant is usually caffeine. What is better about ours is we use something called guarana, which is a Brazilian superfruit that gives you, because of the way the science behind it, basically the tannins, the breakdown and the energy is a little bit slower. So you'll take a little bit of caffeine to give you that pep and that immediate sense of energy. And then with the guarana, it breaks down slower. So you'll feel like you have energy all day long. So pre-workout is something most people take before they work out when they're feeling a little bit tired. Maybe they wake up groggy. It's like a cup of coffee, but before your workout. And it works way better. And depending on what other ingredients you have in there, it's going to be really, really beneficial for you to take it either 2 or 3 times a week, especially on those days when you're feeling like you don't want to get up and go. Take a scoop of this. You're going to feel like you want to get up and go for sure.
Great. Thank you so much for breaking it down. So simple. Sometimes that's all you need to like buy into a product. It sounds like it's definitely something I want to give a try. Again, can you repeat just one more time where people can find this product so that they can go ahead and get theirs?
Sure. So our brand is Spartan Fit Nutrition. So if you go to spartanfitnutrition.com, you could find our website there, or you just do a Google search. We usually come up first page, thanks to the SEO queen. And you could find us, just click on our link and you could buy any products that are there. We do support veterans organizations as well. But there's really one last thing I want to mention. I know we're running close to the end. There are so many resources out there for veteran business owners that we don't take part in. I mean, Small Business Majority is one of them, but the SBA, the SBC, SBDC, there's all these acronyms. We are all very familiar with them, right? Look them up. There are grants out there. There are mentorship programs. There are certifications you could get that open the doors wide. If you're struggling with your business right now, you're not sure if it's going to make it another month or another couple of months, reach out to these organizations. They are paid for by our tax dollars. We've already paid for them. Now let's use them to help us grow our businesses and help each other and help our community succeed.
Yeah, I well said. Thank you so much. And we are still celebrating Hispanic Heritage
Yeah.
Month. So if y'all are into that and you want to support a Hispanic-owned company, so here's one of them right here. And so it's
Viva,
just
Viva Mexico, is that?
and Nicaragua. No.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Latinoamerica.
thank you. Yes, exactly. And of course, all of our veterans,
Allá
regardless
también.
of where they're from, because the small business industry is what actually runs this country, and that's why we have this show, to be able to create awareness and encourage all of you to support small businesses. Cesar, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about this. This comes at a perfect time because we have also this event, oh my gosh, we're promoting Courage Weekend, which is an adaptive sport event for military members, active duty, who are ill, injured, or wounded. So make sure you Google that and promote it as well and support it. And everybody, that's all the time that we have for today's show. Thank you so much to our guests and our producers and all of you watching and listening. Until next time.